Hey YouTube, welcome to the Athletic Nerd. My name is Tyler, and today I'm gonna break it down for you. It finally happened. James Harden finally got out of Houston. Thank you, because all of that drama and him being in news and all that, it's finally over with. And as a Sixers fan, I don't know how to feel about it yet, but I'm just gonna give my unbiased opinion. Just say some winners and losers of the deal. I'm excited for it, and let's get into it. So, just for the details of the deal to start off, the Nets, obviously, they got James Harden, and they also received a future second round pick. The Rockets ended up getting Karis LeVert, which they traded for Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum, Rodiones, I'm sorry if I butcher his name, it's just the way it works, Karooks, and 4 future first round picks and 4 pick swaps, which is pretty similar to the Paul George deal. The Cavaliers got Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince, and the Pacers got Karis LeVert in a second round pick. So nothing too crazy, pretty kind of what was expected coming out. Now, the winners of the trade, I would say the Cleveland definitely won this trade. They got a very good young player in Jarrett Allen, a solid role player in Taurean Prince. And people may think, well, this doesn't really matter. Jarrett Allen can't really shoot. The Cleveland Cavaliers already have Andre Drummond. And I'm pretty sure Jarrett Allen's in his free agent year. He's going to be a restricted free agent after the season. But the Cavaliers, they're actually starting to build a pretty solid team. Everybody knows that they have Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. Both could be pretty decent players, especially on the offensive end. But neither of them are good at defense. And the Cavs front office is addressing that. They got Isaac Okoro in the offseason, who's been pretty decent as a rookie. He's also considered a very good defender on the perimeter. And now they have Jarrett Allen, who's one of the best interior defenders in the NBA. He's also very young, fits the timeline of the team. Probably won't be too expensive. He'll definitely be cheaper than what Andre Drummond was asking for. And he just helps with the overall direction of the team. Another winner of the deal are the Indiana Pacers. Because they moved on from Victor Oladipo, who I'm pretty sure has been solid this season. I'm not exactly sure. But he hasn't exactly been the same ever since his leg injury. And also, he's also going to be a free agent after the season. And his whole situation is just a lose-lose for Indiana. If he plays bad, he walks to free agency. And if he plays good, he'll probably be outpriced for them because they don't want to pay too much for him. But instead, they get Karis LeVert, who's a very good player. He's more of a volume guy than just very efficient, but he's still pretty solid. He's not too old, and he's on a decent contract. So basically, they moved Victor Oladipo, who was going to leave after the season regardless pretty much of what anything happened, for Karis LeVert, instead of just getting Victor Oladipo for nothing. So they clearly win that trade. And now let's get to the two big teams, probably what you came and clicked onto the video for in the first place. For the Brooklyn Nets, it's going to be hard to tell. It's really because in my opinion, usually talent wins championships. And the Nets now have arguably the 3 best isolation scorers in the NBA. And the narrative that James Harden can't play off ball at all is just false. He's done it before. It was just the system he was put in Houston. But it still will probably be an issue. And the example could be made when KD went to Golden State. But the thing is, Clay is basically completely off-ball guy. Even when he handle the ball, it's usually not too deep. It's like attack, a closeout, drive to the basket, those type of things. And Steph Curry, as ball dominant as he may seem, because usage rate is not an accurate indicator of this, because the whole Warriors system, at least before Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant did get some isolation in there, a lot of what Curry does, and still does to this day, is him coming off of screens and doing a lot of off-ball stuff. And that's honestly what makes Curry so great, is that his ability to create without the ball in his hands. And not for people like Draymond Green, who in my opinion wouldn't be successful in almost any other situation in the NBA. And Ben Simmons should be used in a similar role where he's not used as a full-fledged point guard, more as like a point center, where he handles the ball in a lot of short roll situations, coming off screens. It just makes the right decision most of the time. So that's just to be seen. All right, now the grade for the Nets, I'll probably give them a C plus, because they didn't do anything spectacular out of the deal. Whether James Harden completely returns to form this season at all remains to be seen. Right now he has an ankle sprain and is very overweight. Now, part of that may be because he just wanted to get out of Houston, and obviously he came in late with all the protocols and him just coming to training camp late, so he's pretty out of shape. But even still, it's like, if Kyrie even comes back, I could make a whole nother video on that if you like it. But they're all three of them, KD not as much, but Kyrie and James Harden are very ball dominant. Not saying KD's not, but just not to the extent that they are. He showed that in Golden State. So this deal could either be the Nets could win back-to-back championships, James Harden resigns, and they just become a dynasty for like the next 4 to 5 years. But it could also be it doesn't work out. As an owner, they're going to be deep in the luxury tax for the next 2 years. James Harden leaves. Kyrie and Kevin Durant can potentially leave after that time as well. And they're going to be in a similar situation to the Clippers if Kawhi Leonard leaves. And before Paul George would have left, even though he did sign his extension, but that was a fear. And even like the Nets before, where they're not going to have a lot of their future picks. Their team is going to be terrible because they're losing, because they lost pretty much all their young guys in this trade, not even sending them all to Houston. And they'll just have nothing there unless they develop like some second round picks or their late first round picks that they will have. They're just gonna have nothing. And especially since I do think that there's a good chance that they make it out of the East in one of the next 2 years. But the Sixers have been good. The Celtics are still young. They're good every year. So that'll be hard to see. Houston, I give them like a C minus. Simply because I think that they could have gotten more out of this deal. I understand that Harden was cutting all ties and Harden was being a cancer in the locker room. DeMarcus Cousins was speaking out about how he's been acting this way all season. But before, they were mentioning Spencer Dinwiddie, even though I do know he tore his ACL, basically giving up the whole kitchen sink. And the only thing Houston got out of this is like
Booker gets his first touch, defended by LeVert. Help from Allen, now playing with the one foul. Curl inside. Oubre couldn't finish it. Oh, Jared Allen, 2 for the price of 1. The throw lurking.
What good is that going to do the team? They're not going to have too much cap space because of players like Eric Gordon and John Wall's, obviously, his extremely large Supermax contract that likely isn't going to be moved again for at least the next few years. And in the Western Conference, that team still might not make the playoffs. And getting between the 10th and 14th pick for like the next few years, especially when they have a good contract in Christian.
Taurean Prince is now 0 of 4 from the field.
To be honest.
That's her 4 of 13 from downtown. Look out. Allen blocks Towns. Get out of Jared Allen's town.
Trey doubled. Allen.
What a block.
What a help.
In those type of situations, getting a catch, which is not an easy thing to do when you're a good player. Oh, here's a good block by Allen.
Clarkson directs traffic. Shot clock down to 5. Clarkson, hesitation move around Temple. Puts it up, swatted by Allen.
James all the way. Block shot by Allen.
Meanwhile, Harris played on that Team USA with the 4 Celtics. Nice block by Allen.
But even then, what's taking the lead for you?
Trey to Reddish. Cam, blocked by Allen.
To get an offensive rebound, that's just an awful shot.
Cam, and swatted out of there.
Strong words for Scott Twardowski here along the sideline. CJ trying to tuck it inside, deflected right back to him. He turns Allen inside out. Allen got the final say though.
Nasir Little on the perimeter again, defending very well.
CJ running right-hander, grabbed his own miss, and then Allen.
Because he was just so grateful to be in the NBA. Just an extremely well-rounded and appreciative young man.
Dame trying to angle into the lane, and Jared Allen is there. I got this, says Allen.
Well, he's been playing okay, but he hasn't been able to make 3-pointers lately. That's been his bugaboo, and it's taken away.
Derek Favors sees the impact felt early in this game. Now 10 on the shot clock. Go hard, he will. And it'll be a block. Never got the rim. It'll be blocked again. And it's an early 2-point lead for Brooklyn. On the take, Brandon Ingram blocked again by Jared Allen. Dinwiddie stays on the floor. And how about the entry?
Still looking for continuity. Easy dunk to Levert. Coming along the B-spine. Slamming and jamming. The Knicks want to talk.
Works his way inside. Allen blocks the hook try. That's it away to Travion Graham. Now D'Angelo Russell dishes to Levert. Jump stop, deep dish, and he finds Damari Carroll for the deuce. Levert with a drive, gets to the rack, scoops and scores. Chulia called for the foul. Now it's 13-4.
Yeah. Georgia, after not being able to hit anything, now they're hitting everything.
Leonard just put Dudley on skates for a moment. Good anticipation by Levert. And on the other end, flushes it down with 2 hands.
And with Spencer Dinwiddie and with Shabazz Napier, they are all players that can play off the ball as well.
Levert puts that one down off the delivery from Allen.
Size and his ability to kind of raise up against you as a defender.
7-foot wingspan, he's 6'9", 215 pounds. Back-to-back Levert, bottom for 3. Drummond poked away by Russell on a steal.
It was wide open.
Russell gives it back. Levert, skies high.
Allen rises and jams.
This was the last year the NBA would have a bunch of parity.
7-0 run.
But now there's a chance that either
Allen.
the next game
Jared Allen! A grown man's move! What he picked up by Bridges. Off the screen, kick for Levert. 12 to shoot. Levert, long strides, hooks it inside. Allen lost it for a moment, regathers and scores. Plus the foul. Vucevic with Allen. Help from Levert. Fultz, extra feed. And is met by the throw. And another block for Allen.
He could just take the less roll, and he can't shoot anyway.
Prince got screened off the play. Vucevic goes to attack mode. Net at the apex. It's a summit swat for Jared Allen. Shovels. Vucevic. Oh, the throw gets him again. Do not go in there on Jared Allen. Nets will run a set here with Harris off the Allen screen. Dinwiddie, lob and slam. The connection, Dinwiddie to Allen.
Cruz gets the basketball. Thought about it for an instant. Now comes,
like I said, I'm
back
sorry
right into the hands of Allen.
A little telegraph that time.
that the Nets took a huge risk,
and he scores.
Overall, Orlando is a team that's not always putting up big numbers. I mean, they're 24th in offensive rating in terms of scoring points.
Allen flushing it down on the delivery from LeVert.
That whole trade package where they with the Celtics.
Post-up opportunity. Hachimura. Oh, rejected. Do not go in there on the throw. The cut. Rim run. Oh, what a play.
It's pretty high. It's pretty high.
I just can't believe the autograph picture's still there. Poor Savior.
That's two guards.
Joe Harris lays it in.
Is exceptional.
Nets are 1 of 6 to open up. LeVert lob it up. Jared Allen on the receiving end. Out of the timeout, a special delivery from LeVert to the fro. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Gives it up. Allen at the horn. Bank shot is good. The throw goes window and beats the clock. 111-94. Nets made it uncomfortable for the Raptors. Toronto has answered. Oh, that is a grown man.
My 76ers just because of the whole ordeal. And the Pacers and Cavaliers, they robbed this trade. They basically had nothing to do with it. Besides, it was basically cap relief for the Nets, so they could bring in the Harden contract. And the Cavaliers got a talented young center. And the Pacers basically just got Karis LeVert for nothing. Because this season, they're probably not going to make too much of a push. And the next season, Oladipo was leaving anyway. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It will help me a lot as a small channel just starting out. Share this video to a friend if you like it. Once again, sorry for any mistakes. Hopefully it will improve in the future, especially if you want to stay around and watch it happen. And God bless. And I am a young man of the people, so if you have any video ideas, tips, just opinions, put that in the comment section below. And I'm also willing to help you all out. So for any bandwagons, I mean Brooklyn Nets fans, hit the link in the top of the description to buy some apparel if you want. And if you're a Houston fan, you could also hit a link in the description. I may also put in the comments if you want to buy a lighter, if you want to burn any James Harden jerseys, which I wouldn't be too surprised at, to be honest, because it was terrible. He definitely did do a lot for the franchise, but at the end, he was really just being a jerk. And I'm sorry for if I made, like I said before, if I made any mistakes, long pauses, or stuttering, but quarantine plus my antisocialness equals not being able to speak sometimes. So, there you go.